Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me here in Going Medieval 1.0. It's their official release. I am super excited for this game. It is such a really good game, and I am looking forward to checking out all of this content. We are just on a basic, startup. It still has my save. I removed some of the things from, when you start. I don't remember what it was. And I think I may have changed around a weapon or two or something with the shields and whatnot. But for the most part, it's a basic start. Um, I think I got rid of like hay and stuff like that. But anyhow, we got our normal settlers. Well, actually, I shouldn't say normal. My brain's all sort of not working. But we got Bryce Dan here who rolled into culinary. We got Simon. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Who didn't really get a role into much of anything, but he's going to be a researcher, and then just my character, which is the usual construction, marksman, and melee. It wasn't saved. I don't remember what the settings were. Also don't remember if I ever showcased it off. Also, I'm going to be deleting, or plan to, I should say, deleting all of my older Going Medieval playthroughs. So if anybody is currently watching any of those, please let me know in the comments. I will not delete it. I will hold off until you are done. If nobody says anything, then probably come Thursday or Saturday, I will then delete all of the older playthroughs that were effectively not 1.0 releases. And then that way it's the most current content. So that way there's no confusion as to, old versus new. And then, stuff not being in there. But we are on our hillside map here. We got a pretty good spawn here. There's a lot of open flat land here. Looks like we'll have to dig out a little bit here. And then I noticed down here there's a ton of limestone and iron. Basically infinity. Iron and limestone. What else do we got around the map? I do like that they added in these like the out of bounds kind of thing now. What else do we got? More limestone, iron, salt, a massive salt deposit. Is there any clay on this map? Uh-oh. Do we not have clay? Oh, ruh-roh. We don't have clay? Alright, well, we got infinity limestone and iron, so, I guess we won't be building anything out of clay. I usually use the clay for the red bricks, the houses. So it looks like everything will then be that of limestone. Unless if we stumble upon some clay. Surely there's clay on this map, right? Whatever. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to get straight into building. Yeah, I was briefly putzing with this morning, but I had to go and do some running around this morning. I just finally got back. So, and now I can give a proper sit down to this. Get you guys here up on neutral. Let's see. Cook. No, marksman 9, nothing in melee. So you will use ranged. You're on melee, but I got the passion for melee. So I think what I will do here is I'll go melee one-hand shield. And you can go melee two-hand for right now. Clothing, food, stimulants. Yeah, we'll figure all this out too, because they also changed the clothing as well. I'm not sure I want to do a yearly override. Oh, I can't change the default profile. Summer clothes from spring to autumn. You know what? I think I'm going to change everyone to... I guess I could do it this way as well, but I'm afraid they'll... No. I did make my own. Yeah, it's for everything. Alright. So, yeah. You'll go winter ranged, and then winter melee doesn't matter. There we go. Food and stimulus will change. I do believe I have a few things in here. Yeah, I think I have simple meal and lavish. I'll putz with all that stuff off camera, but for right now, let's get to building. How do we want to do this? Since this is going to be basically digging for time and forever, what I think I'll do is I'll put production here, and then maybe the warehouse probably right next to it. We have this river here. For once, again, on a hillside map, I don't have, having to go down like 2-3 stories of the cliff to get to the river. So that's pretty neat, actually. So we hopefully try and utilize this for fishing. However, I don't believe we're going to be able to utilize it as per a drawbridge, which would actually work out wonderfully. Because the problem is then if I were to do the drawbridge, I would have to effectively wall off this whole section. Which I guess might not be the end of the world. Alright, we just got to figure out how we're going to box ourselves in here. But we are on an angle. How is the game going to want to build? Yeah, it's going to want to build this way. Kind of what I figured. So, let's see. With that said, yeah, I'm definitely going to put production down here. And I think a warehouse will be there. Living quarters. Grand Hall will go in the center, as it should. Let's see. Living quarters, living quarters. So you'll do farming up here, living quarters somewhere around here. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So let's get to building, shall we? All right. Wooden wall. Where's the end of this? Hard to see in this brush. Let me get rid of these trees here. And then if I go down some layers, that's not going to matter. Yeah, it's going to go into the ground. Fair enough. All right, so we've cut the trees. I want to use as much space as possible because I'm going to give everybody their own little houses. It's what I've always done. I just see everybody basically doing one big giant thing, you know, like a barracks. I guess they eventually change it, but they still just do one building and then chop up the space in there to divvy it up into rooms. And I've always done little houses for everybody. Eventually run out of space, but you know, I then done, you know, houses where there's an upstairs and downstairs. But I think for right now, this should be fine. So to prevent digging, put a marker there. How will that do? Yeah, that should be enough space. So I think for them to be happy was a 6x6. So we'll go 7x7. It'll be pretty large though, unfortunately. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can do, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. That'll work. I don't know if there's like a min-maxed out thing. So if that's a 7x7, this has to be an 8x8 then. 9x9. Shows you how good I am at building. Alright, so let's see. 9x9, right? 3, 7, yep. Alright, so map out our first bit of houses. Sweet. Cut that, cut that, cut that. I want to get a forbid on this. Not an urgent haul, stupid. Building phase, forbid. Forbid that house right there. Alright, guys, get to work. We got 110 wood. And then we're just going to put a big old chop order in here. We need all of this to go away. That's going to be our agriculture. Up there, chop every tree. I'm of no concern if they're not, you know, fully grown yet. It all needs to go away. So while they bang away on that, let us map out. Actually, I'm gonna have to pause this because I don't trust the game. It'll want to drag the settlers down here and start building. Oh, there's a little bit of clay right here. Look at that. Okay, we do have some clay, so we might be able to do some brick housing. Hopefully there's a decent deposit underneath this here. So what I want to do is, all right, so if there's clay here, we'll end up digging. Just want to drag this over. Go away, trees. You're in the way. This is why you get chopped down. You're always in the way. All right, cancel everything then. That'll give me my baseline. So then if I wanted to do, I'll probably dig out some of this anyhow. That ramp's going to be in the way. Oh, I'm going to have to cancel. All right, that's not going to work. All right, so if I do this to do that, the clay was there. Right? And then I do know the beams can only stretch 10 by 10. So that'll be production. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a second floor, but there's also a lot of new benches. And every time I do it 10 by 10, it is, we run out of space. What I could do though is not a 10 by 10, right? Cut out that wall. We'll need some beams. I feel like this isn't correct now because I don't feel like doing math because I'm terrible at it. I don't know why I'm so nitpicky either with building. Everything's got to be perfect. Otherwise, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not building that. That's garbage. So if I go at 20 by 10, right? 20 by 10. That would throw it off, though. I need to build on the odd number, don't I? Yeah, I have to build on the odd number for this to be even down here. One, two, three. Then what we could do is, since that's like that, we could do a double door. Sweet. Yeah, we'll do a double door. And then we would have to divide this. We need a beam, though. We don't have a beam at the moment. No, not cancel. Forbid. Blueprints. Yes. Beautiful. Why am I hating how this looks? I don't know. But that's my problem. What is this? Blackthorn bush. Oh, that's right. This is something new. Look at that. Slow. Ooh, it looks like blueberries. We can get some blueberries going. All right, so if that's going to be our production, then I would want our basic warehouse. Let's see, if I need to expand this, I'll probably expand it up that way. So I'll put the warehouse here. That'll be 10 by 10. Nope. 10 by 10. We'll build this immediately and dig out. No, that's probably a bad idea, isn't it? I need to dig this out. And I don't have terraforming just yet. I could do wooden stairs. So that's not a big deal. So dig this out. That'll be our base. And then I'll do probably door. I'm okay with that. Ignore that. Build this. No, don't build this. Ignore this. Yes, ignore this. Forbid on that. And the reason being is because we don't have the beams unlocked. All right, let them go back to building. We don't have the beams, so I couldn't build the floor, but we do need a stockpile. So what I'll do is I'll make a teeny little stockpile here, kind of make like a little pole barn type dealio. So what I will do is, oh, I need the beams though for that to work, don't I? Hang on, I gotta pause that. Because if I then cancel this, there's nothing for the roofs to stick to. That's where the, how do I rotate again? Yeah, that's where the, whatchamacallit, the beams come into play. So if I then just rotate the roof to be, it doesn't matter if I rotate. Yeah, I can do this. I just need to add the walls in here, which is unfortunate. But it's better than the stuff going bad. Oh. Oh, not that way. Sure. We'll go with that. There. Build that. And then... Yeah, I think I'll just put the stuff on the ground for now. I know it spoils faster being on the ground and you know, if you put a floor there, but that's kind of the purpose of what that'll be. I don't want to build more than what I already need to. Alright, so let's get some doors on here. Put a door there, but put a forbid on it immediately. So you guys are going to need a roof. I would much rather not do wicker, do wood. Boop. 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 And boop. However, I need to get a forbid on this one. Blueprint phase. Will that count for the roof? Hopefully. Hopefully that counts for that one. Alright, get rid of roof. You guys will now need a floor. Alright, that's gonna keep you guys busy for quite some time. Alright, I'll let them have at that here. See, nobody's grabbed a weapon yet. You guys are doing some digging. Thank God they made a pass at improving the AI logic, because oh boy, did this drive me bananas when they were doing their digging, because they're doing exactly what they were doing before, except these idiots would get themselves stuck here. I know they said it's not going to be perfect, which is, I'm okay with that. But we're going to see if we can't get these AI to get themselves stuck so that we can hopefully put in a report to help them make more improvements. You know, I did see the video on their logic, and the only thing that I still find a bit annoying is you'll see it now. You know, if they're digging, let's say my guy Knight here, he's digging, he would potentially run like over here to dig this tile rather than just digging what's around him. But let's find out. Is he gonna get stuck? Are you gonna do it? Not that far in. Ooh, he moved. Okay. Let's see. We're about 20 minutes into the video. I've already got someone stuck. I gotta see if there's a way to hide the UI. Like, is there a way to just hide the whole thing so that way I could just like, zoom in and watch them work? Is there a button for that? I know I've looked at it in the past, but I've never was able to find or see anything. Rooms, roof, terrain layer up, zone grid, trees, heat map, resource item indicator. Nope. Orders, production, camera, jobs. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a thing here. Like, I know there's what, this button up here, screenshot mode. That's screenshot mode. That I know then I could, it gets rid of the UI, but it pauses the game, unfortunately. Where's our food? How much food do we got? 1 packaged meal, 6 packaged meals. You guys are going to get hungry quick. So if we're doing farming over here, Great Hall will be here. I guess we have no choice but to put the kitchen here. Meal prep is missing. I'm aware of that. So, which means then we also need to dig down. I'm a bit concerned though for enemy raids. They obviously want to get to us. However, if I don't effectively... Oh, you know what? I should stop muttering about and build a butchering table. So that way... Yeah, see, nobody's constructing. Unavailable to deliver. Did I... No. Yeah, see, we got all these dead animals laying about, and you guys are mining over cutting. And that's because mining is at a 4. Plant cut, please. Because we don't want to lose these animals. It's basically free food off the bat. So I need you guys to plant cut. That's why no building is getting done. You guys are wanting to dig, which I'm okay with. Problem is then we also need a research table. Which I guess for the time being, I could put here. No, I need to put it in one of these bedrooms. Who's our researcher? Jobs. Researching is going to be Simon. So whichever house he decides to claim is what we will... is where we'll put the research bench temporarily. Put some hay sleeping spots down for him. Or for them, I should say. Yeah. Get in all that building. Yeah, that was my fault. I should have paid better attention and realized we should be prioritizing construction over the mining. Definitely want to get some houses going. I believe we are... Why? We need an animal to hunt polecats. Some bitch done stole my food. Ooh. Polecat. Why? Can I tame wolves? I want to tame a wolf. Anything to hunt a polecat. I can get cats to hunt birds and other rodents. Can polecats finally be considered a nuisance? Vermin? Something? Anything? Damn some bitch. Yeah, so now we are out of food. So we are gonna have to harvest some mushrooms then. I guess harvest these little bit of mushrooms here. Hopefully raw mushroom is okay. And then we're gonna have to get a campfire going. We might as well just put it right here, I suppose. Alright, what are they? They're gonna be going to sleepy sleep. I just thought with the research bench, just to get agriculture unlocked, we should just build it right away. Because we start off with some chronicles, right? Yeah, chronicles, which will get you straight into the architecture and agriculture. So I can immediately start my warehouse. I just remembered that. Leisure activities. Well, you guys, you don't really get any leisure activities. You need to hurry up here because this thing is going to decompose. Can we please prioritize butchering this? I just don't have the resources, unfortunately, because they're prioritizing the construction of the houses, which I'm not mad at. I just wish I could allocate some resources to the butchering table. Like, stop building that, but then build this. I need to, like, hurry up, see if this will turn blue, and get priority on it. Except it's not. 50 wood. That's a lot of wood. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get into that because flooring and the roofs cost much, much less. 4 mushrooms left. I don't want to harvest a whole bunch because I know the wildlife is going to be coming around and eating stuff. Those packaged meals really didn't last at all. They are already gone, and it is day 3. Oh, damn. Okay, so those are forbidden. I just wanted to make sure. Alright, what do you guys... Yeah, you still got a lot to do. I guess I understand why people just build one ploppy barracks, but you know what? We're in it for the long haul. We make everything more difficult for ourselves. That's just the way it is. So, looks like they're going into yet another nighttime. I think I'll bring you guys back when... we at least got the butchering table down, or at least something else to show. Like a campfire. Yay, entertaining. Alright, do until you have... yeah, it's control. Oops, wrong thing, stupid. 6. Oh, perfect, the butchering table is going up. A merchant. Merchant, really? This early on? You don't have anything to trade. Alright, this butchering table is huge. Due forever. And then simple meals. Yeah. Red currant's fine. Don't use barley. I think I'm okay with everything else. Yeah. That is all fine for right now because we are going to have a critical food problem. Who's our... What in the actual hell was that? I really hope that was ice just sliding down my roof and, not something else. That was kind of alarming. Alright, barter. Let's just see what he has to barter with. I mean, we really literally have nothing. We've just finished the 3rd day. I have wares to trade if you're interested. I mean, I got no money. You got no money. What could we... Oh, wait. He has 9 gold. So, if we want his gold and trade off some of our ale, what could we potentially get? Some early game apples? Plant an apple tree? What else do we got? Linen. We'll need that, though. Herbs, we'll definitely need that. Flax seeds. That's some cloth. But you know what? Flax grows around the map. And I could potentially get seeds out of that. And here I am making fun of the trader. When here I am actually doing a trade. Problem is we couldn't plant the apple sapling right now because we need the the research bench up. Build some early wealth, or do we just cancel? No, we'll just cancel. I don't want to start building in some wealth. I don't know if this game kind of works like RimWorld, where the higher the wealth you have, the worse off raids will be. I don't really know how that works. Speaking of flax, though, let's go see if we can't find some flax seeds. That is barley. Flax, come out wherever you are. A hare carcass, yes. Go and grab that to butcher. We got some fish. That's some early game food. Flax, however, is this? Nope, that's grass. Maybe I should have bought some flax, but it could still be too early. I don't know if flax is really growing in yet. Bramble bush. That's just grass. Mushrooms. Some food. Easily butcher it up for some leather too, as well. Yeah, it might be too early. We might have to wait till summer, which would suck. Maybe I should buy those flax seeds. I don't know how long our winter clothing will last for. Shrub. Rat. Nah. Polecat. Oh, you are going to die. Yeah, I don't see anything. Alright, out of fear of not having flax, let's actually buy that flaxseed. Just in case. Herb. Alright, where flax? Yeah, we'll buy them all. And then I'll trade you out some ale. Yes, fair trade. I would imagine they moved everything over already. Yeah, we got some cabbage and some components. Urgent haul that as well as the cabbage. It would have been funny if some of this was flax literally right in front of my face. Oh boy. Alright, you guys still need to do the whole choppas. I believe we are out of food, so let's harvest up a couple of mushrooms again. Kingdom of York is leaving. Goodbye. Alright, cool. We got our stockpile here. Fortunately, it's still on the floor, but it'll at least be out of the weather. So yeah, cook up the food. They're going to butcher everything, and now we're probably going to have a bit too much food. But you know what? That's never a bad thing. Potentially. Still all spoil. Alright, our research bench is up. So, with that said, do until you have 45. And then... I'm not sure how I feel about this. This looks to be messy and completely disorganized. Am I going to be out here by myself, the only one almost not liking this? It's really rough on the eyes. My vision is already pretty poor as it is. At least the other stuff, I get it was plain and they wanted to change it, but good lord, it was at least legible. And you kind of knew what was where because it literally said it. I can't tell what most of these icons are. Agriculture. Yeah, you get your free first 2 unlocks. Infirmary bed, tailoring, research 2, terraforming, clay, furniture, stone defensive, cartography, smelting, and wood weaponry. Why do I feel I might be out here by myself not liking what they did here? It just feels very disorganized, honestly. Just spaghetti lines with circles. I mean, I get the other thing was plain and you potentially wanted to make a change, but... Alright, let's relocate this inside your room for right now. Yeah. Oh, did I seriously just build on clay like an idiot? Son of a... Didn't see it. Mother blanking fudging blank. I guess I could swear. None of my videos are monetized because YouTube hates me. And I don't have enough people that to try and monetize the channel. But even still, it would be pointless, you know. It's like, hey, I got the bare minimum, I can monetize it. It's like, wouldn't really be worth it though. I'm gonna slam you guys with ads for, you know, a couple of pennies. Not enough beds. Well, you gotta get to building. We are gonna have our first raid. I usually just use up one of these. So let's dig that out. And then what we could do is do... God damn it, select the window. Window. To the wall. To the sweat. Yeah, nope. Gotta stop there. You guys know where I was going with it, I would imagine. Yeah. That's decent little defensive thing? Question mark? We need security. Warfare. Oh, we only got one archer, which wouldn't be placed there. I would then place the archer, I guess here? You can shoot at them going there. You can stand here. Maybe do something like this, I guess. Make a little crappy, ugly looking box. It's gross looking, but meleeers can stab through the windows. Maybe. And then archer can stand there. Dig that out. Oh boy. That was almost poor. Lol. Oh, wait. Yeah, gotta dig that out. And keep them on the outside. So yeah, I would want them coming up here. Dig that. Dig that. Because we should be getting here event soon for, you know, a settler who's looking for shelter. And they're gonna be butchering up all that meat. That's all gonna go to waste, unfortunately. Well, let's see. What, Alright, that goes off 3 days, 2 days, and it's about the same. Alright, let's also stop bumbling about because we got some agriculture to do. Ew. Alrighty. Alright, so let's see. Warehouse. Warehouse here. That's gonna dig down. That goes underground as always. Honestly, this will probably stay here. Because I should move actually that closer. Because then we can put all of our metal and stuff outside. Metal and bricks and whatnot. That'll all go outside. And then... I'm not actually sure. I might deconstruct this. Well, I would have to actually move that here to put the charcoal... charcoal kilns. The clay kilns outside. I know there's some stuff that needs to be outdoors, but under a roof. So I could put, like, all the clay stuff here. Do a small thing there. Stockpile here for, like, bricks and metals. Could just leave that there. We do need to start digging, though, for a kitchen. Kitchen will go here. Great hall. Question mark. Farming. I do need to push this back. Yeah, farming go here-ish. Animals, farming, Great Hall. I guess this will have to be more living quarters. I have to dig this out. Yep, leisurely activities. We could do that, actually. What's that under? This? I have no idea how to pronounce that, so I'm not even going to pretend like I know what the hell that even pronounced. Let's put it up against the mountain here. Go ahead, build that. And then you guys are going to need religion. What are we on religion? What would that be under here? You are a devout restitutionist. Devout restitutionist. And my dude is practicing restitutionist. I'm pretty sure I put him down to neutral. I want everybody to be Oak Brethren. I wonder, will they get mad? They're devout, so they won't break, will they? They require a church of restitution, shrine, or chapel for their religious observations. How dare we have a mixed settlement of religion? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Alright, so... I guess... I can go there, and then you guys can yell things at one another from side to side about whose religion sucks more. And then, if you get into squabbles, someone may or may not end up drowning. What? A friendly visit. A rangy hawker empties their pack, spreading a selection of ornaments on a linen cloth on the ground. I buy and sell things that take a fancy on the road. They say with a crooked smile. I'm sorry, what? Lol. Maybe was that a prior thing because it went away? I just wasn't paying attention because big brain? Alright. I don't know if this is possible or if it was from a mod in RimWorld, but why hasn't something like this been done? This would be a massive quality of life thing. When you move a bench, it retains its properties, like my 45 Chronicles. Every time you move the bench or any workstation, or, you know, it loses its properties altogether. Why? I don't know anything about game development, coding, etc., but I'm pretty sure even still it was a mod or something in RimWorld that I can pick up a bench or just forgot the game, you can move a bench and it retains its properties. Like, why doesn't that exist here? You make all of these huge, you know, advancements in your game, especially for 1.0, make so many beautiful changes, and then you just still got this bleh. Oh, you moved a bench? Nah, you're gonna lose everything. It's like, but why? Like, pretty please? Like, I'll pay. Can I have that, please? All right, sleepy time. Oh yeah, I'm sitting there babbling on. Agriculture, stupid. Agriculture. Oh, great. I can't do anything in this fog. Hello? All right. All right, so if I do kitchen, I can dig here, maybe? I really don't know if I want to deconstruct this, because it will have a use. I do believe. I move the kitchen over. I feel like I would want to dig here then. Leave this 10 by 10 alone. I mean, I will need another stockpile of things. You know what? We'll leave it there. So what we'll do is we'll build kitchen here. Go into our underground. And I'm just afraid of the AI potentially, because we're gonna dig through here because we're gonna need the clay. Of then digging through here and effectively tunneling into what would then be my basement. And I suppose what I could do if they do that is obviously then dig down and just completely reinforce it with limestone. All right, so we'll do that. Although I want the stairs to go down. Do I want it to go down this way? Yeah, here's our first thing for a settler. Yep, they're looking for salvation. Whether it was the third coming seeker, a poor sinner to make an example of, or some other zealots, wasn't clear. Wes, we're just going to say their name is Wes, raved about religion, torture, escape, but the details were confused. Would you give them refuge? Are you even worth it? Because what is it, 2 marauders and an archer? Yep, as always. You are an artiste. I have no use for an artist. You do construction. And, well, I suppose you can make an example of our training program. But we need the hands, so... Welcome aboard, Wes. And because of my goldfish brain, I don't know if I may have mentioned it yet, but you can rename the characters in this game, so if you would like to have a character in this colony, just let me know. And I will get you added in here and promise you totally won't get buried due to my poor gameplay. You will absolutely be thriving and successful. Floor. Aren't they stupid? Right here. There we go. 7 by 7. Alright. Get to work on that. Gonna get your jobs taken care of. Tend. No touchies. Urgent haul. Since you like that, sure. Take care of it. Speechcraft. 5. 2. Since you're butt cheeks, go to 4, go to 1. No hunting. Construct. Yes. Grow. Nope. We still haven't gotten anything planted. I'll do it one day. 1 year. 6 in cooking, but you got the passion and you're really good at it. Just get rid of all this stuff for now because no one's doing it. No art. Urgent haul, I guess. Since you like doing that, do that. That should be a... yes. Do that. That looks potentially non-reasonable. All right. What are your things? Marksman 0, melee 5. I guess melee 2-handed question mark for now. Winter melee, food, stimulus, or whatever, fine. Good. You're our doctor, right? Medicine, no, you're not our doctor. Who's medicine 7, medicine 0, you self-tend. Yes. All right, that'll do. And then, how is this going? No. Drinking, not anymore, you're not. Prioritize digging, constructing. Partially acceptable, but we need both of these dug out, please. Because we got that attack coming in. We don't need them coming up behind us. Even though, hopefully they don't build a little ladder or anything. Alright, so that'll secure us for our defenses. And then I guess what I'll do is I'll throw in a small cut here because this video has gotten on almost about an hour already. And I'll bring you in for the tiny little attack, which I kind of don't want to show it, but who knows, something might just go sideways. But anybody who's watched any of the playthroughs or just anybody's videos will know first attack, never much of anything. It's just pretty lame and boring. And just a quick update. We haven't, search party hasn't gotten here yet. I kind of mapped out 2 little pole barns here, so to speak. I don't know if this is going to be enough space in here for the clay thingy-majig, so I kind of just mapped this out. I think I am just going to turn this space into the kitchen, and then I have this mapped out for like another 20 by 10. And then I finally went ahead and placed down some spot for some farming. This is going to be cabbage. We got a little spot here for going to seeds, because if you just plant your vegetables and stuff like that, you're never going to get enough in return to replant. So you would always have to buy new seeds. So I always make, like, I just do a 10 by 10 field, and then you just need one strip of 10 here, because that way when you have it going to a seed, you'll get 10 cabbage seeds. So in turn, that's 10 cabbage seeds. That's 100. I can easily fill this 10 by 10 field. Now, I don't think I have any red currant here, so let's see if there's any floating around the map. Never mind. Apparently they've had some because they're already planting it. And then, oh Jesus, I need to put this in a very high. The other thing too is make sure your priorities are correct. Now, and this is simply because I don't trust the AI logic. I have the going to seeds as a very high priority because I always want to make sure I have seeds. And since I don't trust them, I have the priority down to a high on the cabbage field because I know exactly what will happen because this is my luck. These jackasses will plant this entire field and then I won't have enough to plant actual cabbage over here to turn into seeds, and then I would have to effectively buy some. All right, AI, let's see how smart you are. You're back to digging, which I'm okay with. Don't do it. I know you're digging this tile. I don't trust yous. Doing good so far. I don't hear any more digging. It's unfortunate a lot of this is going to rot, but is what it is. I do want to start my underground patch. I just don't know where I want it. I really don't want to have to move it, which would be mega unfortunate. But if I do end up turning this into the kitchen, effectively, I guess the door would be here-ish. So I think what I'll do is I'll start them digging down this away, question mark? So we can get our food underground and get it away from all of these buttholes here. Oh, yeah, we don't care about the negotiator. Go away. Be gone, pest. Get all of our food locked up and then get our warehouse locked up. Actually, we have stairs. I don't need to wait for terraforming, right? Yeah, because we're only at 16 chronicles. And that's at 30. I feel like they reduced this. If I remember correctly, I thought that was like 40. Just to do the dirt. I'll wait. It's not, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We're surviving for what we got. Alright, so apparently we're gonna have infinity red currant. We got food. Nothing's being missed out there. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna start my failed conquest at digging like I normally do. So I figure if I do door here to the kitchen, they can run underground, grab whatever materials they need, run back up into the kitchen. I know it's gonna be a lengthy run for them, but I've never really had, well, I say I've never had an issue, but anyone out there who's a smartass can find any one of my videos to where I always have a problem with food. You know, super late game, I'm just like, settlers starving. It's like, what do you mean? I got this entire overflowing, you know, underground warehouse full of food, and ain't nobody got food? You know, ain't nobody got a cooked meal? It's like, do you though? As I figured all this stuff's gonna start dying off, so yeah, I say that it's probably because of travel time, but I usually get it fixed eventually. But there's no real refrigeration other than digging straight down to the bottom. And now too, you know, the underground can flood, which is cool. We're gonna have to be careful with that. I do want to do dirt paths here, so I guess I don't have much of a choice to wait. I really don't want to be building wooden steps because especially with how much I screw up. Thief! With how much I mess up, I don't trust that. I don't want to keep having to deconstruct wood and bring it back. It's easier to just muck around with a dirt pile. I know my eyesight's kind of bad, but that's supposed to be like that? You got normal icon, normal icon, normal icon, big icon. What's so special about you? Your birch tree matured. What's so special about you? You're dead. What's so special about you? You're matured. 23%. 0.7%. Bug maybe? Hilarious, but I just noticed it. I was just trying to see, you know, what other trees may have been available for the chopping. And I just noticed, I'm like, why is that icon ginormous? You know, the messages come and gone. I don't think we're getting raided. They've kind of shoved off, I think. Been a couple of days now. So I'm gonna end this episode here because it's about an hour long now. I don't generally want to do them that long. Unless you guys try and aim about a half an hour, but it never happens. It's always longer than a half an hour. But as long as you guys are okay with it being, you know, about an hour long, listen to me ramble on, just even if it's just noise in the background. You guys have to let me know in the comments. I'm always interested in feedback, good or bad. Promise you're not going to hurt my feelings none. So that way I can improve the channel, so I know what you guys want to see, don't want to see, how I make my cuts, my crappy little edits. So I will see you guys all in the next video. I do appreciate everybody for watching. Till then, take care everybody. Bye.